Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be using our Ninja Creami Deluxe to make peanut butter and jelly ice cream. And I'll be making the peanut butter and the jelly from scratch.
What?
So you ready? Let's get into this. For this recipe, we're going to need some canned red tart pitted cherries, some sugarless ice cream cones, 2 portions of monk fruit sweetener, some milk. I'm using the Kroger Carbmaster Milk like I normally do because it's got all that extra protein, it doesn't have any fat, and it's really low in carbohydrates. A couple of egg yolks, vanilla whey protein powder, vanilla extract, a couple of plain graham crackers, unflavored gelatin, a little bit of white vinegar, some dry roasted peanuts, and a little bit of avocado oil. If you'd like to make this recipe, all the ingredients and measurements are down in the description of the video, along with the calorie count, the protein, the carbs, and the fat. To make the peanut butter, I'm going to be using the blender from the Ninja Detect kitchen system. The reason I'm using this is because it makes it easier than anything else I've ever used. To do this, all we gotta do is throw in our ingredients and push the button, and that's it. So I'm going to throw in the roasted peanuts and pour in the oil, being sure to sort of distribute it evenly over the top of all these nuts. And then the only thing we have to do is make sure this is on blend sense and then push the start button. It will do everything it needs to do to make our nut butter. Now that we got this done, we can set this aside just for a couple of minutes. Now that we have that peanut butter done, we can start prepping our other stuff. So we're going to take a medium-sized mixing bowl, add in our egg yolks, and we're going to whisk these up until they go from being sort of a darker orange color like that to kind of a light yellow fluffy color. It's probably going to take about 2 minutes or so. You can see that I finally got myself a Teflon covered whisk, so this isn't noisy as hell. Once it's starting to look like that, we can add in our monk fruit sweetener. And we're going to mix this in until it's combined. We want to try to eliminate all of this white granule stuff. It's still going to be granule, but we just don't want it separate from the egg yolks. And you can just do this for about 30 seconds or so until it starts looking a little bit smoother. You can even add in the vanilla extract to make it go a little bit quicker. Okay, once it's looking like that, we are going to add in our milk. Whisk that in, and we just need to do that until it's pretty combined. And then next we can add in our peanut butter. Now you don't have to make your peanut butter like I did. You can always just buy some peanut butter and throw it in there. That works too. I'm going to be making the jelly, but you can even just take some regular jelly and do that too as well. I think it's better when you make it yourself, but doing it the other way is going to save you lots and lots of time. Once you got your peanut butter in there, just be sure to get it even. You don't want bits of it hanging off your whisk like that, because 1, that means it's not mixed in there, and 2, it looks gross. Alright, now we can set this aside just for a second, and we're going to take about a half a cup of warm water, and we're going to mix in our gelatin. The reason we're doing this now and not in the actual sauce is because if we do it this way right now, it's not going to clump. If we do it in the sauce, probably going to have some issues. And if you use a fork to do that, it's going to help break it up quite a bit more. And now we can set that aside. Next, we're going to take a small saucepan and set it to about medium to medium-high heat. We're going to carefully throw in our cherries, our white vinegar, and our other monk fruit sweetener. And we're going to mix that up really good and get it combined. The gelatin is going to go in here too, but we want to get this kind of cooking first. If we put that in here with this cold, again, we might get some clumps. Really don't want that. Okay, once you got that mixed up pretty good, we'll just let this do its thing for a little bit. And we're going to take a medium-sized saucepan and set that to a medium to medium-high heat as well. And in here, we're going to put our ice cream mix. Just be sure you give this a good little stir again, because it's probably going to settle a little bit and we don't want it to go in there like that. For this part, if you have a digital thermometer like this, it's going to come in really handy. Because for the ice cream mix, we're going to be heating this to 165 degrees. There's a couple of reasons for that. First, it's going to help the monk fruit sweetener that we have in here dissolve so the ice cream is not so granule. And it's also going to help the whey protein that's going in here dissolve as well so it doesn't clump. Second, we need that 165-degree temperature because we want to temper the eggs. Remember, they're raw and there might be bacteria in them. So we want to make sure if that's in there, we kill all of that. So we're just going to give this a quick stir. And once this mix reaches about 110, then we're going to be adding in the whey protein. Just be sure to keep stirring your stuff. If you let things sit too long without stirring, then you can get burning. We don't want that, do we? Okay, that is just about 110 degrees here. Let's throw in the whey protein. You want to put this in a little bit at a time and then mix it. That'll help make sure we don't have any clumps. If you find that you do get a little bit of clumping anyway, that's fine, just use a whisk. That'll break it up pretty easy. Okay, and once this reaches 165 degrees, then we can slide this off the heat and let it cool down to room temperature. So once these cherries get to a boil, we're going to reduce that heat down to a medium-low. And we can also mix in our gelatin. You can take this opportunity to squish some of these cherries down too, so they're not all whole like this. I like to have them about maybe a quarter of them whole and the rest of them kind of smushed up. Keep in mind that these are going into ice cream and the creamy is going to mush these up anyway, so you don't have to be too careful with that. But I'm just a little bit anal about this kind of thing, so you know what? Do whatever feels right. Now all you gotta do is let this sit and reduce for a while. Once the cherries are broken down enough and look about like that, then we can take these off the heat and let them cool down as well. Once the cherries have cooled down a little bit, we can pour them into a medium mixing bowl. We'll cover these up and we're going to put these in the refrigerator overnight while we're freezing our ice cream. We're not putting this into the ice cream mix because these are going to go in at the very end as a mix-in. That goes the same for these graham crackers. Once the ice cream mix is cooled down, we can pour it into our creamy pint, being sure not to fill it past the scoopable max fill line. In fact, we're going to want to stop that just a little bit short because we're going to be putting a lot of that cherry stuff in here. Next, we can throw on the lid and we're going to freeze our creamy pint overnight, making sure that this sits on a nice level surface.
One eternity later.
After it's been 24 hours, we can pull our peanut butter ice cream out of the freezer and let it set on the counter for about 10 minutes or so to defrost. After it's been about 10 minutes or so, we can put our pint into the pitcher, throw on the lid, snap it into place, put our pitcher into the machine and lock it in. And then we would decide how much of this we want to process. In my case, I'm going to do full because I'm doing my mix in and I don't want to get that messed up. Set this to light ice cream and then we can start it up. By the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Once that cycle finishes, we can release this, pull out the pitcher, and we can check out our ice cream. That's looking pretty good. So now all we have to do is add in our mix-ins. So we're going to put in some of our cherry jelly that we made the other day. This isn't the whole thing, this is only about a quarter cup worth. So with this recipe, you're going to end up with a whole bunch extra, but it doesn't make sense to make a tiny amount like that. So you're going to have some stuff left over for more ice cream or for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or something like that. Take our graham crackers, just break those a couple of times, put those in there too. Close this back up, lock it back in again, back into the machine and lock in. I'll be selecting full again, back to light ice cream. And this time, we're just going to hit the mix in button. What this is going to do is it's going to churn it really slow speed just to get that stuff mixed in without reprocessing the ice cream. All right, let's see how this looks now. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Let's get this served up. If you're a fan of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you're not going to be able to stop eating this ice cream. It's that good. The flavors are spot on, and those graham crackers really give it an unexpected crunch. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Ninja Creami Deluxe or the Detect blender that we used in this video, I do have Amazon affiliate links to those down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through either one of those links, I do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay 1 cent. If you like this video, I bet you're really gonna love our recipe for pistachio ice cream right here. That's actually the most popular ice cream video on my channel, and if you try it out, you're gonna know why. Well, that's it for now. I hope to see you back again here really soon, and until that time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.